Hello, I am so glad to meet you. I want to share with you why you shouldn't look at Facebook. My name is Judy Herman, and I am the author of Beyond Messy Relationships. I'm also a psychotherapist, but I'm also a coach and a speaker. And don't confuse any of what I say here on these live Facebook videos as a substitute for professional counseling. It simply is not a substitute at all. But I want to share with you something that is very common that I hear in my counseling office, and I would like to address it. And this is the title of this is why you shouldn't look at Facebook, but in reality, it's like why you shouldn't look at social media. And maybe it's certain social media, or maybe it's certain Facebook things, but why you shouldn't even look at or answer certain emails, why you shouldn't even answer certain texts, or why you even should not even respond to certain people. And here's what I mean by that. Because the thing that I hear a whole lot in counseling, especially for those who are recovering from divorce, either in the middle of going through a divorce, or maybe they've been post-divorce for a period of time and they have really done well emotionally. And then there's a glitch. And maybe they're living, and it could be either post-divorce, it could be post-COVID, it could be post-anything. Like you're trying to get yourself healthy and well. But the thing that I love about being a therapist and a coach is that I get to help people connect the dots. Remember when we were little kids and we had this little coloring book type of thing, and we had to connect the dot to dot little puzzles. And we go from A to B, B to C, C to D, and we go all around the alphabet or numbers or whatever, and it becomes a picture that we didn't see before. Well, I'm here to help you connect some dots, all right? And here's what I mean by if there's anything that you are trying to do differently that is helping your emotional well-being, and you all of a sudden plummet, here's the dots that I've learned to connect with people, and they have their aha moments, and it's not just me, it's my little peek on Facebook at what X is doing. And it was just a little peek, maybe at 30 seconds. But then what happens is that 30 seconds is just a little teeny thing, but what the mind does, it ruminates. And ruminating is going over and over and over negative things, trying to figure things out. Okay, so I'm going to go back to this illustration that I had a couple days ago. There's this little pebble here. I hope y'all can see this little teeny pebble. All right, it's a little teeny thing. We'll just look at Facebook once. We'll just look at that text once, or look at the email once, or answer the phone once. And it's just a little bit of time. But it just took a whole lot of mental energy afterwards. And you look at this little pebble here, the little thing that happened. It's kind of like putting it in your shoe, and then you put it in your you try to wear the shoe, and you've got this pebble as a constant reminder of everywhere you walk. And so that's what I mean. We need to limit, and we shouldn't look at things that are going to, even little things, even benign things, that are going to set the stage for us to ruminate about either the past or trying to figure out what we woulda, coulda, shoulda done, or just trying to figure it out. Or we accept blame. It's kind of like somebody accuses us of something, and then we're like this dry sponge, and whatever it is that they say, we just soak it in. And then it gets integrated in our minds, and it just doesn't help our mental health. So here's number one you should remember, is that just those little things can make a huge difference, because the mind can only hold so much energy. Okay, we carry within our bodies, within our hearts, a limited capacity for energy. Okay, so you hang out with positive people. You hang out with people who build you up. You hang out with people who can give you truth about yourself, your value, your dignity, your belovedness, your humanness. And you're going to have more energy in that direction, okay? And that's very important. We have limited energy. And secondly, we need to avoid what you call rumination. And that is, again, a little thing that you're exposed to can then be played over as a narrative in our minds. And rumination is known also research-wise to cause depression, and you want to protect your mind. And then number 3, first of all, is limited emotional energy. Second, you set yourself up for rumination, which is not good for your mental health. And thirdly, you limit yourself in awareness, because in reality, this positive emotional energy that we can fill our minds and our hearts and our lives with increases our awareness. It increases our ability to be creative. It increases our ability to have meaning out of difficult challenges that we've had in the past. And we don't want to limit ourselves with that, right? So I hope that this is helpful. Remember, this little pebble right here, whatever little thing you're doing, can be like a constant reminder in your shoe. And that's why you shouldn't look at Facebook. And I'm saying you shouldn't look at those things that are going to really key you up. And instead take time to really be grounded. And there might be a time where you can look at, and maybe it's a year from now, maybe it's 2 years from now, or whatever, but you can have the resilience that you need to handle whatever little thing that used to bother you. Okay, we want to really produce some wellness and peace and harmony in our hearts and in our loved ones and in our relationships. And if you'd like to know more, I have got an amazing coaching program called Show Up and Be You. This is so important. It depends on your relationship, how you do show up, right? If you're living with someone who's very authoritative, or they can be intimidating, or whatever their personality is, and you shrink in that relationship, this Show Up and Be You program will help you to show up and to be you, and to be very grounded in reality, so that these things don't get you off kilter. And it's a 12-week program, and I have room in my schedule for about 3 what I call discovery calls. They are free of charge, but if you are drawn to this and you need to show up and be real in your closest relationships, and to stop walking around on eggshells and live your authentic and vibrantly authentic life. You want to know more? Give me a call, or email me, judy@judycounselor.com. And also you can go to my website, judycounselor.com. And I hope to connect with you. And if you're not ready for that, I have another resource. It's my book, Beyond Messy Relationships. It is Author Academy Top 10 finalists. I'm very proud of that seal. You can get it wherever books are sold, but you can get an author-signed copy if you have a U.S. address. So contact me on my website, judycounselor.com. You are so worth it. You are so worth it. Be willing to limit those things that really drag your energy down, because your energy is so very important, because you are. All right. Thanks so much. Judy Herman, author of Beyond Messy Relationships.